Protože bychom rádi přinášeli i inspirace ze zahraničí, tak jsme si letos dovolili pozvat pana Petra Jägera, ředitele společnosti Esri Schweiz, který si pro vás připravil přednášku na téma využití nové generace managementu dat pro kartografickou produkci ve společnosti Swisstopo. Bude to v angličtině, ale věřím tomu, že to vám vadit nebude. Mr. Jäger, please come on the stage. And this is for your presentation.
Thank you. First, welcome everybody. I'm quite happy to be here. I think it's the third time. And first I would like to thank Peter Seidel for inviting me to his conference. It's a great honor for me to explain you more about our activities at Swisstopo in Switzerland. It's our largest customer, and I will try to give you an introduction in the next 20 minutes. Today, Swisstopo is already using the third generation of Esri technology for the production of its geodata and cartographic products. They began, like me, and maybe some other slightly graying gentlemen here in this room, with ArcInfo and AML in the 90s. And today, they're migrating to the newest Esri technology, mainly to ArcGIS Pro on the desktop side. And you see in this title our Esri technology, and on the other side, their project names, and they correspond a little bit. But first, let's have a short look on Swisstopo and on Swisstopo's history. The origin goes back on a general of the Swiss Army. In 1838, General Guillaume-Henri Dufour founded the Federal Topography Bureau in Bern. And 6 years later, the first map was already produced. It was one map in the French-speaking part of Switzerland, of Vevey. And in 1864, the whole Switzerland was charted. And if you have a look at this beautiful chart, it was already a high-quality map with many, many details, which during this time was mainly important for the military purpose. And this map was maintained until 1939. This has been the last revision. Here you can see the three most important map series of Switzerland. The Dufour map we already had before, the Siegfried map, which was introduced in 1870 and which was already also a very sophisticated map with many, many details and already colored. And finally, the map on the map series on the right side, it's called Landeskarten. That means national map, which is still the base of the products Swisstopo delivers today. These maps, that's special, they were all produced manually. That was a lot of manual work. In the past, mainly the technology of layer engraving on glass, and of course, in the latest year, it was manually with digital instruments like Illustrator and things like that, but that was still not a real digital production. Today, the Landeskarte looks like this, and it's produced in scales from 1 to 10,000 up to 1 to 1 million. And the 1 to 10,000, that was the first map which is 100% produced without human interaction. So it's completely an automated process. And today all these products are based on Esri technology. Today, the appearance is more colorful, it's less ornate, and as I said, it's more suitable for automation. Now let's speak the Swisstopo.
Actually, I even see things that you cannot see. Do you wonder who or what I am? Well, it's not that easy to explain. I help people analyze and understand complex situations. Well, that sounds a bit vague. Let's be more specific. I help you quickly find a vehicle to travel from A to B and assist you on difficult terrain. I can tell you if it's worth having a tick vaccination where you live. How prone to erosion are your fields? I can show you. I know where it can be noisy and exactly how noisy. This will help you to find a quiet place to live. And when you have found it, I can teach you your rights as an owner or builder. For you, I can make the invisible visible. My advice can save lives. And sometimes, I even help love on its way. But I do not just measure the signs of the times. I can also look to the past. I am the memory of the landscape, so to speak. Or I can make forecasts about the future. How warm will it be in 50 years? And when it gets dangerous, I can help to make the right decisions quickly. Many people work tirelessly to feed and coordinate my knowledge, and to make it quickly and easily accessible to you. My knowledge will also accompany you in the digitalized future. In self-driving traffic, in smart cities. There are things you cannot see, but you have the possibility of looking at the world through my eyes whenever you want, and of understanding it a little better.
So, if you compare the vision of Swisstopo about cartographic or the topographic data production and Esri's vision, then you see there is a huge match. And that was the base for this collaboration over, and if you look at this slide, and this slide goes to the past, but also to the future for almost 40 years of collaboration. And the beginning, the first project was the GTDB, the Geotopographic Database, which was a collection of topographic data for updating the basis and for the following cartographic process, including generalization. So the maps, they were still produced with these semi-manual processes I explained before, so with illustrators and things like that. But the base was since 1998, a digital geotopographic database. The biggest step in changing the production processes was the ArcGIS project, and on the cartographic side, the Genius DB database. These have taken the production method into a new area and made new products possible. And today, these projects are in the phase of migrating into the new Esri technology. But you see, the products are still in use until, or will be in use until 26. On this slide, you see you see the whole process. On the left side, the data sources, so official cadastral data, aerial photography, and derived from that orthophotos and LiDAR data. In the middle, the TopGIS, that's the area where these data were processed, were captured, were integrated. There is a huge amount of verification processes with spatial and logical tests. And the result of all these are 2D and 3D landscape models, which are the base for the derived cartographic products on the right side, where they must be, of course, generalized for the different scales. There is cartographic refinement, and the results will be the maps we have seen before. And with this map.geo.admin.ch, that's the web publishing, and there is also a data shop where data could be ordered and delivered. So the project's goal of these two projects, the TopGIS, that's the infrastructure for the production of the landscape models, so the terrain landscape model. And on the Genius side, that's the infrastructure for the cartographic products. And you see some customer requirements. I would say that the main thing was it must be the same as in the past, the same quality as in the past, but better and faster. That's the short interpretation of that. And on the left side, you see the stereo integration. And during this time, there was there is, we must say, there is the product stereo analyst for ArcGIS. And that's a product which was that came from ERDAS. ERDAS was bought by Leica. Leica was our partner in this project because it is a Swiss company, or was a Swiss company. And Leica was bought by Intergraph, and Intergraph was bought by Hexagon. So we are now in a consortium with Hexagon for the stereo part. That worked very well. And the concept which were behind that the Swisstopo has had a very, very high level requirements. They want the operator being guided through the process. They don't want GIS operators who knows everything and knows every button and pull-down menu. They must be guided through their work. So they had work list. They required one-click tools. They had a data dictionary where all the rules were stored, which were important. So the owner was just guided through all the process. I will show you one or two processes a little bit later. And you can imagine that was a huge development, and that was a huge investment. And the lessons learned from Swisstopo, it's a perfect system, but in future they will not invest one time in such a huge single project. Due to the very close collaboration with Esri, product management and Esri development in the United States, a lot of these requirements are now part of the Esri standard products, mainly in ArcGIS Pro, and that makes it much more easier to go into a next generation. I will show you one example of a tool out of TopGIS. That's the building construction workflow. So they had one layer are Swiss buildings, and every Swiss building is now digitized. And the workflow was like this. There was a template or templates for possible rooftops. These rooftops could be edited in stereo, and when they fit, they had a what's the correct name? The the overhang of the rooftop over the walls, they have to digitize also. And the baseline, then the ground level, where the baseline is a 2D map, and the real ground level is somewhere in between, and that builds up the whole building in the end. Here you see two examples out of the Carto tools. On the left side, the masking, a rule-based masking, so depending on what levels should be overlaid by the masking, there are completely different rules, and this is a process which goes automatically. Sorry, I was too fast. And the tool on the right side, that's the escarpment creation tool. Escarpments are a specialty of the Swiss maps, and they show a deep slope. And you see, we had to develop a lot of things like that to produce finally the very sophisticated maps. So these are two examples, one out of the Topo base, the other one out of the Cartographic base. And this is the 1:25 final result when all this work is done. And you see here the new interpretation with all the colored things. That's a detail where you see how the football fields are managed. So that's all done more or less automatically, but the operator could always interact with the system and override the single features. So the new project, the GoTop and the K2, it's the same look and feel like before, but it's on the new infrastructure. So the main topic is the same. The GoTop is the infrastructure for the production of the landscape model, and the K2 is the cartographic product infrastructure. And I said before, one of the key points is stereo integration, and stereo analyst for ArcGIS will die with ArcMap. So Hexagon will not continue to develop that on the Esri base. So Esri started a couple of years ago to develop a stereo editing environment in ArcGIS Pro. And it's a very close collaboration between the development team and Swisstopo, because the Swisstopo requirements are a guidance for the development. And you see here an early version in process. That's a demonstration at Swisstopo we had to perform. The same thing on the cartographic side, on the K2 side. Here you see a prototype which is in development, which integrates all the requirements that we had collected in the Genius DB process over the last years. So ArcGIS Pro is really a perfect environment to implement workflows for the high-end, for regular cartography, but also for high-end cartography with much less individual development like we had in the past. And to end up this, I will go back to the topic of Dominic with his digital twin and show you a little sequence where you can see that Swisstopo is one part of such a collaboration which brings together different data. You see here again Zurich. So we have the landscape basis from Switzerland, and we can make the Swisstopo vision true, and Swisstopo data could help to make our vision true. So again, that's a collaboration between many data providers, but Swisstopo is providing all these buildings, all these terrain bases, and that is an excellent example how the future could be with our technology and with things like we have from Swisstopo. The video will go deeper in this building, but we will stop now because I'm over my time, and the only thing I can say is Dekwi Mahograt. It's difficult.
You made it. You made it excellent. Peter, it's always nice to hear what you do, what people in Switzerland are doing. Do you have any collaboration with, for example, Czech National Mapping Agency? Do they, visit you to learn what you have done, or is it like that there's no communication there?
I told Jiří during lunch. He was in Zurich a couple of years ago. I think that the main topic was the city engine topic, but we showed the city of Prague, all the things we had during this time, and what we are doing with Swisstopo, with city of Zurich. Yeah, and I think Prague is one of the most advanced cities in the world concerning this data and digital twins.
Yep. Okay. So, Peter, thank you once again very much for your presentation. It was a pleasure to meet you here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.